Hey, what's going on everyone? Hawks21 here, back with another Splinterlands video. So we've gotten some market movement recently in Splinterlands. The tokens have ticked up a little bit, and just yesterday with the Monday Town Hall, we got a confirmation from Aggie that when they release the new Soulbound reward cards, of which I believe there will be 40 of them, these current reward cards are going to be out of print, which sent the market, of these reward cards off the charts. I'm going to get into that now, and I'm also going to talk about one opportunity I see for a card that didn't get as caught up in the hype, and there's some particular reasons why I think there still could be some opportunity here. But before I get into that, I am Hawks21 and I cover Splinterlands here on the channel. If you are interested in this type of content, it would be awesome if you could take a second to like and subscribe. Okay, let's get into it. So, broadly speaking, we got news that these reward card circulations were going to be cut significantly short. And if we go to reward Chaos Legion only, you can see, all of these down here, it's like Vampire Bat, Bloodmaker, Gargoyle Lion, Deceiver, Heatsmith, etc. These were all half a penny per BCX for max copies. So these have almost doubled. Again, you're talking about half a penny per BCX. So from a dollar standpoint, that's not that much, but that's 100% gain if you were buying max copies at half a penny and then selling them at a penny. So you're talking about 100% gain. And some of the better ones, the market's actually cooled down a little bit. It got pretty crazy there at one point. But bandits are up almost to 2 cents. Again, this was close to like 3 cents at one point. The market got really, really, really excited. Mercenaries up to 2 cents. The rares have kind of stuck behind a little bit. So the Dhampir Infiltrator's up to 5 cents. This got really, really cheap. Vol'gin's up. One of the biggest gainers, the Pelacor Conjurer, that's worked its way up from a penny to 3 pennies per BCX. Again, you're talking 2 cents per BCX, but that is a massive percentage-based gain. The Lava Launchers, these rares ticked up a little bit, and now they're kind of back. Uraeus definitely moved higher. Tidebiter and Revealer moved higher. And notice something. Some of the new ones here have moved higher, and we'll talk about that in a second. I do think there's some opportunity still left in the gold foils. These have stayed pretty low. Right? Not too crazy. Harclaw moved up to over $1, and now you see some, back in the 80 cents range. These got really high. They were closing in on $1. Things have stayed higher, but they've settled back down a little bit. So you still have some opportunity here. Some of the biggest movers were right here. Venator, Countess, Jared Scar. That's because the newer reward cards are having their circulation cut by a massive, massive, massive amount over the planned. So for some of these other ones, right, if we come to this screen here, this is current rewards. You don't see the commons, the most new common, the older commons for the rewards, like the Pelacor Bandit, Pelacor Deceiver, Gargoyle Lion, Pelacor Conjurer, etc. Because those already hit 100%. Those are gone. So they completed their full cycle. So the expected supply of those is the expected cycle. The reason why we saw a boost there was mainly because of the fact that they are now out of print. You cannot pull Pelacor Conjurers or Pelacor Bandits or, Pelacor Mercenaries out of reward chests. And you'll never be able to pull them out of reward chests. But for these guys, right, if we come here, Jared Scar, 18%. 18.5%, 18.6% for these three. That is an 82% reduction, as it currently stands, in the estimated print value. That's nuts. And they're going to go immediately out of print. So you're going to get both of those dynamics working at once, right? You're going to get a way lesser supply than we were expecting. And again, this might get closer up to, 20% or whatever it is. Because, these are still going to come out of chests until the Soulbound reward cards are here, which I believe is supposed to be end of month. So this could get closer to 20%. But we're talking about, let's say 38,000 to be safe. How many max copies is that? That's 3,450 max copies. That actually includes gold's BCX too, so it's lesser than that. Compared that here with the Jin O'Shaughnessy, so let's say 3,400. Compare that here, and we're talking 12,000. So there's almost 4 times less max copies for these 3 down here than the older legendaries. So Jin O'Shaughnessy, Hardclaw, Jin Bilka. The Goldfoil Uraeus. So this was the one purchase I made the day before the town hall. If we go to market history, you can see I leveled up my Goldfoil Uraeus. I was getting it for about $4 per BCX. I think it's up to like 5 now. So we're starting to see some movement. We're starting to see some positive market dynamics. It seemed like for a while, even when we would get news that, something that would traditionally move markets higher, the market wasn't reacting, right? It was pretty stagnant. The macro headwinds were just too strong. We saw one of those days that, we haven't seen for 9 months yesterday, where things were skyrocketing. Down here too, Jin Bilka was like $14 gold foil. Now it's up to 21. So you're not getting the same percentage boosts as some of the smaller ones, but you're seeing, higher dollar values here. The craziest ones were these 3. These 3 were like 15, 20 bucks, somewhere around there. At one point, these got close to like 100, which was insane. I hope someone sold theirs at that point, took that profit. But these moved up a ton. Because if you look, here's the available cards. There's 25 of them. That's so few cards. And, maybe this gets up to 30. There's 570 total right now, 855 BCX. That's not enough. That's not enough gold foil Jared's cards. So I don't really have a point to this video, sort of just like if you didn't know that this was happening. All of these older reward cards are their supplies are being, destroyed, basically, by the Splinterlands team, which is great for the people that are here. So, let's talk about an opportunity basis, right? I did mention that. One thing I've noticed is with the commons down here, you saw some movement. Let's isolate the commons. You saw some movement in some of these, right? Sorry, let's talk about the legendaries first. You saw a lot of movement in the legendaries, specifically these new ones, right? There is not going to be a lot of these legendaries. And if we go back here, as I said, about 80% has been cut. But if you come to the commons, right, we're talking about half has been cut. Combine that with, as I mentioned, stuff going out of print. And I'm kind of wondering why some of these commons, the newer commons, so the Vampire Bat, Bloodmaker, Murdampier, Ever-Hungry Skull, they've ticked up. But we haven't seen any really move higher. Like, we haven't seen any jump up a ton. And I have some answers. Some of it's not, too difficult to see. Pelcor Bandit, Conjurer, Mercenary, in particular, these are kind of carry cards. A lot of decks have these. These cards get played a lot. You kind of need these cards. Specifically the Conjurer. No one with a life deck does not have the highest possible leveled up Conjurer, or doesn't want one at least. Bandit is a insane sneak attacker. 4 damage with the flying. It's a staple. There's so many low mana sneak strategies with Kelia. Great card. And then a tank with healing. Any tank with healing, is going to be a somewhat premium card. Now, when we look at these, we have some more niche cards. So Vampire Bat, I actually really like this card in melee-only rule sets or no magic rule sets, where I know the dodge and the flying are going to come into play, and I don't need to worry about magic. But that's niche, right? We're talking about a very specific type of situation. Niche. Bloodmaker. Sick with Jotun, but to be honest, right, with Yasik giving the scatter shot, some of the randomness and the value this card could bring to your deck if you wanted to run a scattershot play was taken away by Yasik. Everhungry Skull can be very powerful in specific contexts. Very, very powerful in specific contexts. Equalizer, for example. Melee only is a great one to sort of be an opportunity distraction, and it just keeps hitting the shield and thorns over and over and over again. But still niche, very specific rule sets. The one card out of these commons that I think, for the newer ones, stands apart is the Murdampier. The combination of Cripple and even Snare with Life Leech makes this such a fantastic card. I was low on this card when I was first talking about the abilities, when I was first talking about these new reward cards, but I was wrong. This card gets played against me constantly, all the time. Think about Bakjira, right? Bakjira is so annoying to go up against. When I know I'm going to go up against a Bakjira, I play the Murdampier constantly. That Cripple and the Life Leech, all of a sudden, right, the Bakjira keeps healing, and I'm able to keep crippling it over and over and over again. And all of a sudden, you're talking about a Bakjira that has like 5 health. And not to mention, that whole entire time, the Murdampier is gaining a ton of health. It's great in Earthquake with the Snare. This combination of Snare and Cripple is amazing. I like to play it when I'm expecting the Pelagor Conjurer with the flying, so I know the Murdampier can't miss it. This can be a really frustrating card to go against, when you're expecting, or if you're not expecting it, or even if you are expecting it, specifically when it gets the phase at the highest level, it's very, very difficult to hit this card. With the Murdampier, which can fit into a lot of those low mana contexts, you don't have to worry about that. And all the healing and stuff with life, that's where the Cripple comes in, and you're slowly whittling down that base health. This card can also be frustrating for the Pelagor Mercenary. Again, with the heal and the flying, the Snare and the Cripple is a great combination. Another very commonly played card that it is great against, it is a rare, is the Cursed Wendeku with the heal. If you need to start crippling the Cursed Wendeku so the Cursed Wendeku can't heal up, specifically talking down here, it gets the heal at level 5 in gold. This is fantastic counter for this card in the Gold League. And I know this can be a very, very difficult card to combat. So with that said, I feel like there's a bit of opportunity here with the Murdampier. I'm not saying I think, the Murdampier is imminently going to jump up or anything like that. But it's piqued my interest. It's definitely moved higher. I'm not saying that. I just think once this card does get it is fully out of print and we realize, okay, it's half as big as we were expecting, I think that's when, or this is a card that could particularly benefit from that. I think it's the most useful out of these newer reward cards from a broad sense. Even if you are trying to go after some of the specific strategies that I mentioned, and you're wrong, you're still talking about at the highest level, a 3 attack for 4 mana with Life Leech. So it's great to put in front of a Dr. Blight. I love putting Life Leech cards or Scavenger cards in front of a Dr. Blight. It ends up being a pretty good sneak protection. It's kind of fast. I think this is just a fantastic card. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is a little bit. And I am going to buy 2 more max copies. And then let's take a look at the golds as well. Yeah, I'm going to buy some more of these golds. Let's see. How many do I need for a max copy? 38. What's a good level? I only need 2. I think I have some gold. I have a max gold foil, but let's... What is this? This is $2. Actually, let's just buy a max. I know I can do it the other way with bulk buy. Let's just see what a max costs. I know. I'm going to get a comment that's like, you could have just clicked bulk buy. $19. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to buy another max copy of the Merdamp here. All right, putting my money where my mouth is, buying 2 common max copies, buying a gold foil max copy. This is not investment advice, obviously. It's just an opportunity I'm seeing. Oh, I need 50 more cents here to get an extra PKM bonus. So let's just pick up 1 more gold foil Pelacor Bandit. Never hurt anyone. So now we'll get the extra PKM bonus. All right, let's hit buy. And my bags of reward cards were filled up pretty nice. All right, that buy went through. We're actually going to go to Splinterlands for a second. And I'll just show you a little bit about, how I've played the reward cards this far. So what I like to do, I have a max gold of most of them. Let's just start with the commons. Right, so I have a max gold bandit. I have a lot of bandits here. Right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 max copies, a couple level 8s, a couple level 5s, and then just a ton of level 1s. So again, right, I was buying these for like half a penny per BCX, and now they're close to 3 cents. It is a huge percentage-based gain. Same here with the Pelacor Conjurer, right? I have even more max copies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 max copies. A level 8, a level 5, and then a bunch of level 1s. Similar situation. Buying those for half a penny, 70% of a penny. I have, golds. Mercenary, not as many, but I got a decent amount of level 6s. Why did I would always look for cheap level 6s, just because that's when it gets the heal. I have a decent amount of golds here. Yeah, so again, whenever I could pick up a level 6 gold that I saw there for cheap, I'd pick it up, just because the key level with the healing. Again, got some gold foils. Gargoyle Lion is the one I haven't really maxed out yet. I'll get there. Just not a card that I play very often. I'm definitely lacking on the gold rares. My rares leave a lot to be desired, except for the Infiltrator. I went big early on the Infiltrator. I like sort of double strike monsters. Epics, as I told, I got the max gold foil Uraeus. Have all of them maxed out, obviously. I went pretty big on the Revealer, so it was nice to see that sort of price appreciation. And then finally here, I have the 2 gold foil Jinbilkas. I'm just going to hold on to these. I just think they're too cheap to let go of a gold foil legendary. I really went big on Jared Scar. So again, happy to see that price appreciation. And then got some Sinashes and some Venators. So, I'm holding a pretty big reward card bag. So, for me in particular, selfishly, seeing this increase in the reward cards was awesome. It was definitely a surprise. There was a rumor going around that this is what was going to happen. And just getting the confirmation from Aggie, it was really nice to see the market have some bullish legs in it. It was a site that was sorely missed. There's some other, to be honest, this is the best I've felt about the game in general in a while. I've never gotten sort of as low as some people have. But there was definitely some doldrums in there. But now, sort of my excitement level has certainly peaked up again. I think I'm going to talk about some SPS stuff and some DEC stuff next. We'll maybe just continue the good time bullishness videos rolling. But we'll see. All right, I'm going to stop it there. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys, filled up your reward card bags before it was too late. Videos coming soon on the Soulbound reward cards, both as a concept as well as once we start getting stats, I'm going to be covering those. And again, I have some things to say about SPS, so stay tuned for that. All right, I'm going to stop it here. Thanks for being here. If you are new to the community, it would be amazing if you could take a quick second right now and subscribe to the channel. I would really, really appreciate it. All right, have a great day, and I will talk to you guys soon.